Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge, here to review some Seattle Seahawks action as we went on the road against the Cleveland Browns, who really needed to pick themselves up after the embarrassment on Monday Night Football. And boys and girls, I'm not gonna lie to you, I love my boy Baker Mayfield. That's my guy. I fucking cheer for this dude. I want him to do well. And in this game, really, it started off as a fucking doorbuster for the Cleveland Browns. You had the special teams of the Seattle Seahawks just letting the fucking dude run right over, 74-yard, and you think, fuck, here we go. Petey Carroll, trying to hold on tight from the start. And yes, it's Nick Chubb getting the first touchdown in the first quarter, and this was kind of the, I don't know, what's the best word for it? The possible declarative statement saying that Nick Chubb is here. Nick Chubb is possibly one of the best running backs in the league. If no one's paying attention to him, watch what the fuck he's doing. This dude was tearing up Seattle's defense all game today. But thankfully, in the Seattle side on the offense, we got a magician named Russell Wilson. Leads the guys down the field, and yes, he rushes in for a touchdown, but Myers misses on the PAT, so the game is 6-7. Cleveland leads. And this is where I just thought Cleveland looked spectacular. I would say this. For the first, 16 minutes of this game, Cleveland looked amazing. I'm going to say that right now, right? Because you have Baker Mayfield being a field general, leading Cleveland down the field, gets a rushing touchdown, a 10-yard run. You know, Russell got in for 16, but no one's really measuring the rushing touchdown. As long as the quarterbacks aren't injured, our hearts are just sighing in relief. And so you get Cleveland's defense just running amok, causing, Seattle all kinds of problems on the offensive line, on Russell. I mean, holy shit, you got a guy like Myles Garrett who's just going to come at you every which way in the game. And, for Seattle, I thought, okay, cool, as long as we can kind of get our shit together, it's only 14-6. It's only a one-possession game. We're going to be fine. But second quarter starts, and Cleveland comes out again. Gangbusters. And you get Seals Jones with the touchdown, 31-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. This was a beauty. Little air pass. That was a little beautiful pass. And it's only 6 seconds into the second quarter where they do this. And you just look and see and think, maybe the Seattle defense isn't going to be up to par today. Maybe they aren't going to be all that stellar because, yes, Cleveland led at 6-20 in the start of the second quarter. Now, for Seattle fans, this is very concerning because you had Will Dissly get injured on a non-contact play, and yeah, it looks like an Achilles injury. Jesus. It's an Achilles injury, which compiles on his injury history. And injuries for Will Dissly is scary. I hope this isn't anything too serious. Hopefully he, whatever the diagnosis is, however long he's out, hopefully a speedy recovery for him. As Seattle fans, we have to be there for him. So best of luck to Will Dissly. But it bummed me the fuck out. When I saw the Will Dissly news, it just bummed me the fuck out. I just go on Twitter immediately and you just see the negative connotation of unfortunate news. You're like, fuck, this is not going to be good. And it really wasn't good. Because, yeah, I mean, you have Russell Wilson and Chris Carson just leading you down the field, but Myers only able to capitalize on a field goal, so it's 9-20. And this is where shit gets just bonkers, okay? Cleveland goes for a punt, I think after, it was probably 3 and out at that point. But here's the thing. Goes for the punt, Malik Turner blocks it, and it's inside Cleveland's 25. And Russell Wilson, again, tries his best. I think he almost got injured on one of the plays there in this drive, and that, you don't want to see that, okay? When you have your franchise quarterback who is literally carrying this team on his fucking back, His beautiful pit fucking base running back. We just gotta hope that he never gets injured. That's really it. But with the block, Seattle doesn't get much going, but still gets the field goal. 12-20. So the game is chipped away to an 8-point game again. And this is where defense for Seattle came up big. Situationally, they came up big. Overall, it was just, lots of yardage given up. Nearly 250 yards on the passing and nearly 150 on the rushing attempts. So again, lots of asterisk there. But again, defense came up big in the second quarter, where Trey Flowers gets an INT. And here's the thing. The reality is, it's Baker just straight on giving it to Trey Flowers. And it's just an absolute mess from a referee situation, where this game could have benefited towards Cleveland's side in some of these offense moments. But again, it just looked like, I don't know, Cleveland just got kind of steamrolled after those first 16 minutes in the first quarter. And not really steamrolled in the sense that they got, ran over and completely lost it, but mentally, they just kind of heaved a sigh of relief. But it was the start of this Tedrick Thompson interception that just kind of started really this chain of events where you knew Seattle was going to do something. And again, when you have Baker and OBJ just firing on all cylinders, you're hoping something can turn, you're hoping something can happen, and it comes in the form of Tedrick Thompson. Again, another crazy, near miracle-ish touchdown, interception in the end zone, which could have been a touchdown if it does land for Jarvis Landry. But again, there has to be a huge shout-out to Shaquille Griffin on that play, who gets a nice little tippy-tap on Jarvis. And, of course, Tedrick Thompson making an interception, puts the ball inside, I think it was maybe really, really inside the 10-yard line, maybe 8 or 7 yards. But at this point, maybe it wasn't 8 yards. You know what? I'm thinking of the other thing. Holy fuck. Sometimes, guys, brain doesn't work. Brain doesn't work because you get on the hype of the Tedrick Thompson interception, right? Back-to-back weeks of crazy interceptions. And this is actually where you get to the 2-minute offense. And I apologize for the foible and my faux pas, but god damn it, boys and girls, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy trying to take these notes down, trying to see what the magic of Russell Wilson will bring to us. And he brought to us Jerron Brown, a passing touchdown. Only, 20 seconds left in the second quarter there. And with a failed 2-point conversion attempt, it's 18-20. It's 18-20. And you figure, okay, cool. We'll just take that. It's okay. We'll come back in the second half. We deferred in the first half anyway, so we're going to get the ball back, right? And you figure maybe Cleveland's just going to take a knee, settle down, relax. But what does Freddie Kitchens do? Guy gets overly aggressive and really fucking impatient and just starts going for it. Hail Mary on the fourth and, I don't fucking know, was it third and something? Doesn't matter. You just fucking way too aggressive on that shit. Just take the knee, let the guys rest, talk your team up, figure shit out. Figure shit out, because back-to-back interceptions led to complete stoppage of momentum. It really did. Complete stop in the momentum for the Cleveland Browns. And, anyone could have told you, hey, maybe take a fucking knee and figure out your game plan for the second half, because what you were doing in this first half wasn't really working, right? Back-to-back interceptions. Something has to be done to maybe limit this. I don't know, give the ball to Nick Chubb, your best fucking option on the offense. But hey, I'm just a dumbass, right? I'm just a dumbass. But here's the thing. First half ends, and you go into the second half thinking, okay, you got Russ, you got CeCe. They're going to carry it forth. But Cleveland defense coming up big, coming up huge, and Seattle's O-line at times where, yeah, you want things to be good, but they get at you, right? They do. And this is where Baker gets a little dinged up on a rush attempt, and following that, Nick Chubb fumbles the ball stripped away from Ziggy Ansah, and he recovers. And you have Baker Mayfield going into the tent, and you figure he's out for the game because he's grabbing at his hip with an apparent hip injury, perhaps. And you would think the backup quarterback's going to play, but no. Baker's a fucking warrior. Baker Mayfield is a fucking warrior. He is a football player, and yeah, right now his stats might not show that he's a great football player, but goddamn it, he can be great. He absolutely can be. And he fought through. He fought through this game. And, you know, despite the fact that the referees were really working against the Cleveland Browns in this entire game, I'm not really exaggerating at that. Go watch this game. Go watch some of the parts where you figure the referee may just let that slide, but they get really particular with the details on the Cleveland Browns penalties, which I've noted a lot more than the Seahawks penalties. And yeah, maybe it's the fact that this ref is his first ever year in the NFL. Maybe it's the fact that Cleveland is the most penalized team in the NFL. Lots of things can come into hand with that shit. But here's the thing. What comes in hand in the third quarter is Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, and touchdowns. Jerron Brown, third quarter, 6 minutes in, bullet pass, third and goal. And you get the PAT, right? You get the PAT, hits the upright, dings it in, and just goes in. Not the Cody Parkey double doink. It just dink, in. Field goal is good. PAT is good. 25-20. And again, it's only in the third quarter. A 5-point lead means genuinely nothing, especially that much time in the game. But you have Baker just coming back, doing their thing, coming out of it. Then ball goes back to Seattle, and what does Seattle do? 3rd and 1. CJ Prosise fumbles the ball. Oh, God, he fumbles the ball inside of Cleveland territory, and it's just, it's just the way Cleveland did so well on the offense, and then at times just completely petered out. This was kind of the frustrating thing about watching Cleveland today, because you have Baker and Nick Chubb just completely dominating, and then Freddie Kitchens' dumbass play calling and his just stupid antics gets in the way. So there was this crazy kind of play in the third, and near the end of the third quarter, where Seattle has too many men on the field. I think Jarvis Landry fumbles the ball inside the end zone, and somebody else recovered it for an apparent touchdown. So one ref out of 4 raises his hand for a touchdown, and before the next play is played, the referee makes all the fucking ruling. It's still 4th and goal for Cleveland, and Cleveland goes for it. And before that, Freddie Kitchens throws a challenge flag, loses the challenge because he thought it was a touchdown. Referee said no. Call stands as is. And Cleveland misses their opportunity on the 4th and goal. However, this means that Seattle's offense had to deal with this very tight space inside the end zone. So, not much progress, and unfortunately, Michael Dixon, our punt god, couldn't get the ball off with not enough space in between there in the end zone, fucking out of the end zone. Shit, I don't know, man. You can't give fucking Michael Dixon, the punt god, only 10 yards to work with. You got to give the punt god a little bit more space. So, the ball lands inside the 25, and again, you got Nick Chubb. That 25 yards, that's good as gone. Good as gone, because Nick Chubb scores 4th quarter. Good to go, baby. Just good to go. And yeah, that 4th quarter weird fucking thing with the fucking fumble, too many men on the field, that shit gets sorted because, Chubb redeems himself. Redeems everybody for Cleveland. Getting the 2-point conversion as well for Cleveland. 25-28, Cleveland goes up. And here's the thing. Cleveland's defense just gave up way too many penalties today. There were moments where you thought, okay, clearly that might be a penalty. Like the offsides, I think, clear penalties. The roughing the passer calls, some of them I don't really agree with, even though, yeah, it's my quarterback. I love Russell Wilson, but referees were really nitpicky today. Really nitpicky at some of these at some of these plays. And some of these, actions taken on the field. Roughing the passer on one of the hits, I kind of agreed with. The other one, I think that was the first roughing the passer on Russell Wilson that I just didn't really agree with. Shouldn't really have been a roughing the passer, but hey, benefits the Seahawks. I'll take that. And what looked like a Tyler Lockett touchdown comes up a yard short after a scoring review because it happens. Shit happens. His knees touch the ground, but Chris Carson, the man with 100 reasons to be sexy, and I mean 100 yards, right? Gets the touchdown in there. PAT's good. Seattle Seahawks lead 30-28, 32-28. And now Cleveland has the ball, right? You score it with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter with Chris Carson. Now Cleveland has the ball. What does your defense do? Again, your defense gave up a hell of a ton of yards. Hell of a ton of yards! KJ Wright comes up huge. Interception, which I don't want to give that interception on Baker. I really don't. Because Hill dumbass should have had that fucking ball. Just, it popped up because he fucking clapped that shit. And because of that, Baker Mayfield now has 12 turnovers in the season. And it's unfortunate because this last one really shouldn't have counted towards him. But it does. And you give Seattle the ball. They just killed the clock inside the 10-yard line with just ample time. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. 30-some odd seconds. They're just going to kill that off no problem. You got Chris Carson and Russell Wilson firing on all cylinders. Shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, boys and girls, I'm not an analytics expert. I'm not a football expert here, boys and girls. But what I do know, even the fact that I'm not an expert, what I do know is the fact that this was a fantastic quarterback showing. Yes, Baker didn't really have a great second half. Well, you can really argue that he didn't really have a great second quarter. But honestly, I thought he did well. Let me read some of the numbers here for you guys. Russell Wilson threw for 295 yards, 23 passes on 33 attempts, a 69.7%, 117.6 quarterback rating, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1 rushing touchdown. Absolute field general. Calm, collected, and just working his magic all game. Just the kind of stuff that we're sort of used to with Russell Wilson. And alongside him, the beast man himself, Beast Mode 2.0, Chris Carson, 124 yards and 24 attempts, and a TD to boot. So Seattle looking hot, looking swag, 3-0 on the road. Whereas the Cleveland Browns, I wish I could say more positive things, but here we go. The Baker Mayfield show just continues with just this number of 249 yards, which wasn't bad, which really wasn't bad. 22 passes on 37 attempts, again, not bad. 59.6% completion rate. Yeah, I get that. It's not that great, but relatively, he did okay. 54.9 quarterback rating because, yes, 1 interception, actually 1 touchdown. Jesus Christ, 3 interceptions. 1 times 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions and 1 rushing touchdown. And again, some unfortunate circumstances for Baker, but he just looked rattled at times and just an absolute warrior this game. He was an absolute fucking warrior. Coming back with an apparent hip injury, playing through it, I think he did the best that he could. And you have Nick Chubb, 120 yards, 122 yards, 20 attempts, 2 touchdowns. Just, you know this team's going to go places. You know they are. But right now, the Cleveland Browns are in a huge slump. They are 2-4, while the Baltimore Ravens just beat the Cincinnati Bengals and took a huge, comfortable lead in their division. So the Browns have a lot of work to do, but they're going into bye week. As for Seattle Seahawks, we are going back home next week. And yes, we're facing the aforementioned Baltimore Ravens. Are we ready? Are we ready to face Earl Thomas and his craziness? His old bullshit. because Russell Wilson is on MVP form, boys and girls. 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 6 games in. MVP. That's my MVP. And reason why I put up the Marshawn Lynch jersey? Chris Carson. Maybe the second coming of Beast Mode. So, there is a bit of arrogance to the Seattle Seahawks fan, boys and girls, but rest assured, I do appreciate Baker Mayfield. I hope his team does well. Hopefully they bounce back, get to a wild card spot, maybe even win the division. But as a Seattle Seahawks fan, I gotta say, really happy today. Really glad we get the win on the road. So, let's go Hawks. Boys and girls, follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content. Now fuck off.